first 4 lines of the 100 Characters Steele. This is the document written by the all master. He's a patriarch, he's immortal, he's a true person, Zhenren, in the Taoist tradition. His name is Lu Dongbing, and I want to use the Buddhist view to explain the model that he proposed here. This is the first 4 lines. The model is the mind and the body is inseparable. So we have a circle right here. So the first line of the Steele said that we need to nurture our energy. And how do we do that? We need to forgetting words. Forgetting words meaning don't get into argument, don't get into places where we drain our energy through words and speech. Okay, so it is actually a subtle energy training. And the way we're doing it is to guarding our speech. And to do that, we need to learn the habit of self-reflection, self-restraint in our speech. Self-restraint meaning we know the ethical values of our words. So every time we say anything, we don't want to hurt people, don't want to regret in the future, or create a web of deception and delusion, because the words create so much misconception about reality. And therefore, there is a practice that guarding our energy. When we go wrong with our words, what happens is our energy is draining. So make sure that we learn to nurture our energy in this way. Now the second line is talking about how we should tame our thoughts and our emotions. Mostly the thoughts are propelled by emotions. That's what we want to tame. And how do we do that? We should do the non-doing. What is non-doing? It just means relaxation. So taming the thoughts and emotion is part of what we call emotional clearance. Sometimes we need to do something we call shadow works. We work on our shadows and our blind spots, so it doesn't control our mind, our thinking, and our life. So this is the kind of work we need to do. But here is proposing in our practice, in our meditation, because at the time of Taoism, there is no such a thing we call as shadow works or emotional clearance. So here is the Buddhist interpretation in modern times. So we say that we need to relax our body and our breathing. So we need to have a training and physical relaxation. You need to sit and relax and relax and relax. During the time that you relax, you know that your emotion can be calmer and calmer. And you can see through all these emotional habits going through your body and your mind. Then you need to train yourself in slow breathing, gentle breathing, and relaxed breathing. These are the kind of breathing you want to be so familiar with. When you sit down, you can really breathe really slow, maybe a few breaths per minute. And the breathing texture is so gentle, and you feel the relaxation in the breathing. You don't make an effort on your breathing anymore. It doesn't have a sense that you need to control, contract, and expand. No, you breathe very relaxed. So this is the kind of training that is really helpful for you to clear your emotional, what we call habits, by breathing very slow. It's easy for you to see through the emotional drama that we have. Okay, so this is the first 2 lines. And the third line is get into what we call spiritual practice. So in our model, we see that the subtle energy training could be the first, and then the emotional training, and then spiritual training. Most of the time, emotional problems would really compromise our spiritual practice. And therefore, we need to have the clearance. And then we work on spiritual practice. And how is it? It's said that here the body. Even spiritual practice will be started with the body, in movement and in stillness. So in the 2 opposites, in the dualism, when the dualism, become aware of the non-duality nature. That is what we call the spiritual practice. If anything we do in life, anything is a duality or dualism, will split us in 2 parts. We be able to really access to the source of that duality. Access to that source. In Taoism we call Tai Chi, but in Buddhism we call non-duality. We also say in the Avatamsika tradition, we say it's a Dhamma Dhatu, meaning the realm of reality. So these are the things that is really important in our training. And so how do we train becoming awareness of the non-duality? We train in self-awareness. This self-awareness is a practice where we sit, we do things any moment that we are really in the present and we be aware of this non-duality, even in talking, even in argument. We see how we can integrate the two polarities and be aware of the source, the place where the duality has not happened yet. Then the next training is what we call social engagement. What is social engagement? Meaning what we do in real life and how we be in real situations. Here, the verse that says nothing. This is a perception that is, you don't see any problem with anything, and we have to keep what we call the mentality that always thinks, oh, I have to keep myself busy, I have to keep myself busy. We have to transform that attitude. We need to take time that we relax ourselves. We take time to reflect, take time to come back to ourselves, take time to really see the values around us, the beauty, the goodness around us. So there is nothing means don't get so uptight and don't give ourselves an agenda that we need to fulfill all the time. But be relaxed, and then if you do so, what happens is no one to seek for. You don't want to seek anyone else, meaning the ego. Even to become a Buddha, you stop, have that intensity. So always intensity of the ego now suddenly released and relaxed. Okay, so you're staying in the openness and the now. That is a solution. How do we see things? How do we keep ourselves not busy? Because we stay in the openness. We stay in the now. The training of this is what we call the practice of appreciation. Appreciation meaning we recognize the goodness, the beauty around us in every single thing, even little tiny things, even in any project, in any movement, we recognize that beauty and that goodness. By recognizing it, we stop everything in this track. And the ego is now dismantled. It's not only the awareness, and that awareness is we call the openness. In staying open is what the Buddhas or the Buddhists would say, stay in the sunyata. Openness, it just means the state of sunyata. And by staying in this openness in the now, we will appreciate everything around us. We live in a sense of gratitude all the time. And with that gratitude, it actually expands our being in the world. So whatever we do, things come, we respond. Thank you for listening.